Welcome to ATB-TV. I'm Darren Dance here with Peter Morganti on this Wednesday afternoon. Pete, it's been a big week in racing.
Very big, Darren. Yeah, sad in a lot of ways, but yeah, this time last week we were probably just, well, sort of unaware of a lot of it. It was very raw and new, but it's a lot unfolded in the last 6 or 7 days, and this morning it was sort of final nail was driven into the coffin, so to speak, for Darren Weir, unfortunately.
Well, the Rad Board's deliberated and announced 4-year disqualification to Darren Weir. As you all know, we've had horses with him since he was at stall. So it's been a pretty tumultuous week for us, hasn't
Absolutely.
it? With, I think, about 25 horses on our books with the trainer.
They're sort of currently racehorses, yeah.
26, so obviously we had to deal with that. So at this point we've dealt with the ones that were in training, and all of those have now been reallocated and relocated to new trainers, and particularly the ones that are in training. A number of the ones in pre-training or on adjustment or still, you know, having a spell or at the breakers, I should say.
Yeah.
We'll deal with those over the next week or so. There's not the urgency there, but look, as disappointing it is, given the relationship that we've personally had, one thing I will say out of all this is we didn't act until you know, the Monday night show cause, hearing the results were announced at 2 AM, saying that he was going to accept the charges or not contest the charges and therefore admitted guilt, and we decided not to act prior to that because we believe everyone's innocent till proven guilty through the process, irrespective of what happens in the media these days. We took that approach, and then we're in a position to move quickly. But I will overall commend you know, racing, the way it's handled it internally. You know, for a raid to take place on a Wednesday, hearings to be conducted, penalty put out on Monday, and a Rad Board hearing to be concluded by Wednesday, and have the whole thing sorted within a week, I think it's outstanding. Yeah. And hopefully as we go forward in racing, hopefully there's not too many more of these situations that come to light, but I commend them on getting it dealt with, and so we can move on and do what we all love to do, and that is go to the races and race horses.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, I think you think of the Cobalt cases, and they went for years.
Yeah, well, I think the new processes they've got in place, and what the lessons learned maybe, I'm not really that close to it, but as an outsider looking in, you know, wouldn't matter what trainer was involved, Pete. I think to have it dealt with in a week is fantastic, so it's not dragging on through the papers and the press and Twitter, and we can just get on with racing, because after all, that's what we do.
Yeah.
We're in racing, we love horses, and we love going to the races, and we don't want all this other noise disrupting everything and people losing confidence. So, you know, and if money spent on integrity has been well documented, it's good, and let's get on with it.
Yeah. Just one thing, just personally, obviously it's been, like I said, we've held our powder dry until we've had to act, and with that, I'd just like to, just Darren Weir through all this, just the help he has given us. He hasn't just thrown his hands in the air and it's like, your horses can go anywhere. Right up until yesterday, he was helping us place our horses or giving us some idea where they, you know.
Well, he made himself available to talk to the trainers who were getting those horses to make sure they knew where they're at and any little things they needed to know about them. Yeah. So yeah, you've got to commend the guy for going to the trials on Monday, being at track work yesterday, and having hearings all the way through, and then being, I guess, a big enough person to, you know, ask where the horses were going, and then to make himself available to the trainers to help them, because obviously, you know, he wants them to run well for the owners going forward.
Exactly, that's it.
And for the staff, you know, the staff in the office, and the riders, you know, we feel for all them. We know a lot of them personally. We've known a lot of them for a long time. Hopefully the rumours are right, Pete, that the stables won't be empty for too long, and there'll be a new name going on the wall very shortly, and hopefully that operation's big enough to pick up, you know, most of those staff that want to continue.
And in the staff in the office there yesterday, there was, you know, a few were there was smiles on the faces knowing that something might happen. So, you know, you got 150 staff across the board, and, you know, I mean,
particularly in Ballarat and Warrnambool, you know, it's a small community overall. But and the other thing is, Pete, there's a lot of those staff that are actually, you know, in relationships and 2 wages coming in, and all of a sudden looking at none. So, you know.
Yep. And hats off to a few sort of trainers around the area. Let's see, the McKnights have called arms to They've opened up more boxes for pre-trainers and taken on some of Weary's staff from Malden. So, you know, from the bad, there's people out there that are open arms and they're trying to help. So
Yeah, well, I read a really good tweet this morning, Pete, and it said a lot of trainers have shown their true colours this week.
yeah,
And I won't go into any detail on that,
each way.
but I think that tweet was,
Yeah.
I agree with that tweet.
Yep.
Trainers have shown their true colours.
True colours.
Some have got the knives out, others have embraced
They might have to change
those
it.
in need.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, let's get down to the business.
Yep, as we spoke last week, we had St Jackal firstly safety dance at Werribee. He ran well. Was forced probably to go a bit early and just ran out of petrol tickets late.
He was like second up, and he was probably posted
Yeah.
in the run. Probably should have made a decision to go forward in hindsight.
Yeah.
But look, anyway, that's what it is. But he ran nice, and I think he's ready to win.
Yeah, I think that's the key, that he ran well despite the difficult run.
And it's a tough track, Werribee. You know, it's hard to.
Yep. St Jackal went to Pakenham.
I drove to Pakenham, Pete.
You went to Pakenham, yeah.
It's a long way.
It was.
3 hours.
Long way for the result we got.
Well, she didn't run it well at all.
No. Heads to the paddock too, Darren. I think you're...
Yeah, she'll go to the paddock. I think she's just, like, she's a 3-year-old jackalry. They look like they need more time. She's immature. She's obviously got ability.
Yeah, we
but
see
she's
that.
just not strong enough at this point, so she'll be in the paddock tomorrow.
She actually, at some stage, when she travelled, I thought, oh, she's in
On the corner, yeah.
Yeah.
But just didn't have the gas late.
I think we hang our hat off that first start when she really...
She showed it off,
Yeah.
but she needs to put on 40 or 50 kilos.
Yep. I went to Caulfield on Saturday.
You did.
I waited all day to drive down there and went down and caught up.
The last race, was it?
Yeah, caught a lot of money bags owners. And of course, it's not just that race on Saturday. There's the All-Star Mile that hangs around with this horse as well. But we never got the result we wanted. He ran 6, never ever travelled like a winner.
He was scrubbing up before the corner.
Yeah, bit, you know, Rob and Jai thought it's twice he hasn't acted on that track. I think once was 1200 where you're probably not going to see it anyway. We know he's a big track horse, but I think on face value he was still a little disappointing. Hung again.
Finished 6th?
6th, yeah.
His last 50...
100, he pushed through the line really well.
His last 50 was his best.
Yeah. So that, to me, tells me there's no problem with the horse.
Well, I didn't look at the sectional, so
Yeah.
I was disappointed because he was, what, $2.90 favourite against some horses he should have been able to give a flogging to.
He's better than most of them.
Now, it didn't happen, so there's a number of questions that need to be answered, and I don't think we've got the answers, Pete. So
No.
it's easy enough to blame the track.
Yeah.
It's even easy enough to blame the ride. It's easy enough to say, well, did he really get over last time when he hung in badly? Or does he need more cut in the ground?
Yeah.
But you know what I really think? I'm in two minds.
Had enough this
I
prep?
think he's either ready for the paddock
Yeah.
or he's crying out for 1600.
Yeah.
Because I'd need to look at those sectionals, and I haven't had time given what's happened during the week, but if they went slow and then sprinted, and maybe that's why he got going late, but to me, he's, you know, and I think he's going to go to an 84 mile now, so that'll tell us. If he doesn't perform at Flemington in that 84 mile,
proof's in the pudding there.
well, he probably won't get a run in the All-Star Mile anyway, because I think he's down to 6th now.
We've still kept the margin to 11th, even though we're dropping in the top 10. But
Yeah.
look, you're right. A mile Flemington, he's not acting there. There's you know, it's time for the paddock.
Yeah. So I'm thinking he's still 1,000 votes short of where I think he needs to be.
Yeah.
And if he wins at Flemington next week, he'll probably get those votes. So it's really up to him now.
Yep. Exactly. We had Captain Harry, who was meant to
I
run.
might just say, Pete, I wasn't at Caulfield because I had to go to a 70th, and just to dispel the rumours, Pete, it wasn't my 70th, as some of the smarties thought.
I never even thought to act on that comment.
Yeah, so I had a few tweets and messages, but anyway, their accounts have just gone up by a little bit.
And I know how long your memory is too, Darren.
I'll square up. But no, we did have a good 70th down there at the Boggy Creek pub, Pete.
The Boggy Creek, I've heard a lot about it.
You never been? I'll tell you what, it's got it's a lovely little pub, and it's got a beautiful deck that overlooks the Curtis River, or the Boggy Creek. Yeah. And the beer, it's so cold, Pete. It's so cold.
It's 3 o'clock.
And it always tastes better when it's free.
3 o'clock on a Wednesday, and I could taste it now.
Oh yeah, I know, we need one, after the week we've had.
Yeah.
Right.
Captain Harry was meant to run yesterday at Wattle. The obvious thing when Weary was
he'll stay
suspended.
For another day.
Yeah, so he's actually with Mitch, obviously. And
was he down to run?
He's at Pakenham.
Was he down to run tomorrow night?
Yeah, third emergency drawn 14 or something.
Not going?
was talking to Mitch just earlier and said, oh, we'll just see if another couple come out. We'll wait till race morning.
Righto.
Yeah, and we'll probably be forced. We won't get a run and don't have to worry about scratching. But
So I've got to go to Packham if he runs, does it?
I don't know, Darren. I'll be thinking he won't be running.
Send a fuel claim into Neville.
I'll go. I was actually, before I said where this horse was drawn to run, Carraganair on Friday.
Barrier 1.
No, he's drawn all right, but race 8 at 10 o'clock, but I'll still go. I'll beat the traffic.
Well, there'll be no traffic.
At all, either way.
10 o'clock.
Yep.
Well, this is D-Day, isn't it?
Well, they had a few races and we sort of put what about going back to a 64 and claiming? Now, Lachlan King, who they were hoping to get, committed to a horse that ended up being fourth emergency. We've got Ethan Brown, who we've had a bit of luck with.
He's a good rider.
1.5 off, carries 60.5, but it's fairly compressed. 58 to 60.5 covers it.
Yep.
D-Day, you're right.
Well, one thing
1500, he's back 100.
I'll tell you one thing about Ethan Brown. He's a good young, strong rider, and he grew up in Alice Springs. Real horseman, like grew up with horses.
Yeah.
And I reckon when he gets off, if that horse doesn't win, he'll be able to tell us why it didn't win.
Yep.
Without all the, jockey book instructions and excuses.
We had a similar situation with a horse going back ransom money, and we got him on and he won, and he said, oh, this horse was well placed, and so he'll give us the right the feedback we want to hear. And
well, at the end of the day, when you're with a top trainer, if you can't be winning in town, you can't keep him there. So we need to work out what's going on. I think we'll get the answer on Friday night.
Yep. Saturday.
Wow.
Exciting day.
Well, could be a good day.
I won't be saying we've got a couple of certainties.
I don't know if we've got a winner, Pete, but you know what? We're going to be at Caulfield Saturday and we're going to be playing with the big boys.
We are, and our colours...
3 runners with 3 all group races?
Yeah. I don't know if Yogi's all listed or...
Back.
He's back. C. Williams on.
C. Williams on. And who trains?
Kieran Maher, David Eustace. We used to say that. Now,
I haven't met Eustace.
No, he's got a...
And I don't think your nickname for him's appropriate.
Come on, yeah, righto.
Useless.
Well, I'll let you know in time.
Do you reckon he watches this? Might be a good start.
Very distinctive accent, anyway.
English.
Yes.
Proper.
Yes.
He'll be a proper man.
A couple of handy horses in this race. Silence, former Weir horse.
Yeah, who's it got it now?
Philip Stokes.
Stokesy.
And that thing of...
well, mate, we're not going there thinking we can win.
No, but I mean...
You saw him. I know
this
you
horse,
didn't see him go, did you?
This horse could act first up.
He went good super last time, didn't he?
He only got
I'll tell you what, if we get this 30 or 40 mils that's produced...
Well, that helps.
Look at it out there, like out over your way there. It's as black as an ace of spades. So, look, if we can get an inch or an inch and a half and just get this heat and dryness out...
Yep.
I tell you, I'm looking forward to his first up run. If he can just hit the line good...
Yeah.
And who's on?
Your mate, Williams.
Oh, Williams. Well, he can ride that horse. I didn't know he rode for Mark.
Well, I don't know. He probably had a look and see that the last couple of times it's won, it's been Mar and D-Lane, might have been the other.
Then we've got to go back to
then back to Jack Hill. Jack Hill keeps reminding me that he's available.
Where is Jack Hill?
Just got married on the weekend.
Who?
Jack got married to...
Not another jockey, please.
No. A girl who works for... she was with Paddy Payne or Simon... Was with Simon Wilde, track rider. Been with her for years, Nakara.
Any chance one of these blokes can marry like a solicitor or a lawyer? Someone that actually earns money, proper money?
No, well...
Wouldn't that be the go?
But good
should have went on Married First Sight, Jack.
Married at First Sight?
On that show?
No.
You'd be watching that, wouldn't you?
No. I get forced to watch it or sit there and I put plugs in my ears and listen to the radio.
All I can say is at home, with my kitchen rules and Married at First Sight, I am so glad I built that deck outside and put a tally on the wall.
Especially this time of year.
I spend a lot of time out there, Pete.
I'll go to the laptop and watch anything, apart from any of those shows.
I'll watch Gold Rush.
Although I must say, I'm probably pretty well endeavoured with the Big Bash it's been on over the past month.
I'm over the Big Bash.
I'm not going to sing of it, I think I've expended all my credits.
I think I actually watched AFL women's footy the other day.
No.
The Geelong one, it was quite good.
No,
I was impressed.
No. It was 2-1, Darren. It was soccer school.
Yeah, I know.
I went to the cricket the other week. That was entertaining. Always took me along. So
good.
Anyway, back to Yogi.
Well, first up,
if he's running on,
just hit the line, boy.
He's a top 3 hope based on his.
Really?
Yes.
No.
Top 3. Well, he ran second first up last time.
All right. Well, you're confident. You
Second
going?
or fourth, I can't remember.
You going to go Saturday?
Well, I'm going to go Friday night, but
You probably wouldn't go, would you?
after the last time we got a double and I started away, and those two horses are
Don't
next
talk
two
like
horses.
that. That's all right.
Anyway, we'll move on. Social Spin. He's in the, forget the name of it, it was a Group 2. Actually, before that, it's Crack the Coach. He's in the Kevin Hayes.
She's in race 2, Group 3.
Yeah, Kevin Hayes, fillies, 3-year-old, Group 2. Group 3. Group 3. Drawn well. D. Oliver, drawn 3, 4.
Have you heard the pre-race from Mick Price this morning?
Oh, not again, as he labelled it.
Did you? You haven't heard it?
No, I haven't yet.
I think we'll save that for the owners.
I've got it in my box full of emails that deep, and he's amongst them.
Yeah, well, it's a pretty positive report.
So we sent that out about 5 minutes before the race.
Positive report, owners.
Mick was in the water with it the other day. Did you see that down the beach?
Was that him?
He was.
I wonder
Someone was saying, "Who's the seal?"
Someone said, who's the old bloke?
Yeah, and he nicknamed, "I'm the seal. I'm the seal that was in the water." All he had was the speedos on,
Oh, no.
and he said the poor track rider hasn't recovered yet.
She left.
Shana
Where
filmed
was that?
Morty Alec
Morty
Beach.
Alec.
Yeah, and Shana filmed it with,
It was good to
with
see
a
him.
drone. Yeah.
You
Tell-
going to drone?
There's the budget.
We'll get one.
Righto.
You'll crash it.
We'll get a drone.
You'll
up
crash
and down the hill track here.
Stuart should get a drone.
But they've had all different things, I think, apart from drones.
All right.
But look, she goes there,
3 out of 4. She's flying.
ready to.
Black tie. Mick Price said he'd be disappointed if she didn't figure in the top 3.
She become a
Can win.
expensive little filly if she can pull this off, Darren.
They're telling me if she wins Saturday, her value will be somewhere between 700 and 800,000.
How come I can't get into that?
You don't answer
Move
the
on.
phone.
Social Spin, who we spoke about before, is
Not the
in
last start winner.
Group 2,
New
1400, new trainer.
Mick Price.
Yep, Ben Mallum, I think was
Ben
that
Mallum.
the engagement. And I think he drew okay too, I can't remember.
I think he drew in the middle.
Yeah,
It looks like the harder race.
his favourite, $4
Favourite.
against Ring a Ding Ding and quite a few kicking off their campaign.
Oh, I suppose he's hard fit, isn't he?
Our advantage is his hard fit.
Well, he's going to have a new jock that hasn't been on. But he's still trained at Warner Ward. Mick Price has got horses at Warner Ward, which people probably didn't really know until the last week. So
I actually spoke to Matty Williams today and just asked
he's
him,
looking after him, mother.
asked how he fitted in. He said, yeah, he got off the truck and I didn't know what to expect. He said, geez, a big, ugly looking thing, isn't he? That was his words.
Was he looking in the mirror?
I don't know.
Beetroot, you know, rock star yourself.
But what he galloped with Land of Plenty the other day, and I won't
You were
say
there,
too
weren't
much
you?
about that. But
You were there, weren't you?
Yeah, well, the
And you were happy.
owners have seen the photos. Even brought a smile to the face of Weary, who was there.
So he gave Land of Plenty a bit of a touch-up.
Yeah, and Matty said all he's going to do with him is just light gallop in the morning, next 2 days at the beach.
Open his lungs up and ready,
Ready
to
to
roll.
roll. Yep.
Well, good luck.
Yeah.
He's favourite. I can't believe he's
$4.
favourite. I
$4.
assume social. I assume Crack the Coat will be favourite. I assume
I didn't have a look.
they weren't up yet. But
No.
Anyway.
No, their races, it was only the quaddie races, basically.
Well, I tell you, we're really looking forward to Saturday. It's just nice to have 3 nice horses all
absolutely.
running, and good luck to the owners because, you know, after the week the Yogi and Social Spin owners have been through, they deserve to go to the races and have a good day.
Yep.
And hopefully we can get a result.
Yep, no, for sure. And the only other horse I know, Connery's nominated for Colac.
On Saturday?
Yeah, after the good one at Ararat, good 1 rating at Ararat. We'll be watching that closely, but I think
Did
Archie...
we talk about Whitemore, did we?
No, we haven't actually. We'll get to that.
Did you skip over that one?
We've
didn't
skipped over one. We've missed one. I have come from Ararat to do this show here at the Ballarat Turf Club, and we watched Whitemore trek around on concrete.
you? Good one. Well, the jockeys are saying a good one.
Yeah, it was a 4.
Then it went to a 3. And then it went to a 2.
I'm always going to have a little go here, but
No,
I
I don't think
how
you should
can
be saying anything
How
negative.
can you put a good 4 up and then race 3 it's a 2?
Well, it dries out. And I don't think they ordered it because the rain was forecast and it didn't arrive. But
gotta
look,
be-
the jocks are saying it's very firm.
Yeah.
It's officially a 2. Our horse worries on a 3.
Yeah.
Irrespective whether it's a 2 or a 3 or a 1, doesn't matter. It was too firm for him,
Yeah.
and he was ready to let down and win, and he didn't.
Yeah.
And the even money favourite, same. And it's just disappointing because we've taken that horse all the way from Cranbourne to Ararat
3 hours.
to get his maiden done, and we've come away probably with a horse that's going to be jarred up. But I did talk to Robbie, who's very disappointed and frustrated, and he said he's going to take that horse straight to the beach in the morning.
No, he missed the start a little, but Chase Maskill got him into a position on the turn where he just thought he was going to let down and win.
If that had been a good fall,
Yeah,
he would have won.
probably does. Yeah.
Anyway, so that's all we've got for this week.
Yep.
And I think we'll be glad to get to the races Saturday and just be race goers
Yep.
and owners at a race meeting
Mingle,
and forget everything else
mingle into the crowd.
and just enjoy the sport
What
that
it
we
is.
live, breathe and love.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd just like to say finally, Pete, unless you've got something else
No,
to say.
I was just going to echo your sentiments. Get to the races. And
I'd just
enjoy.
like to say our owners this week have been outstanding, patient. We really appreciated all the emails, texts and tweets that came through just complimenting the team on the way we've handled it.
Yep.
And, you know, they're all invested in the game because they want to be, and they're all handled themselves really well. And I think they're all really happy with where we've got to so far.
Yep.
But the job's not over yet,
More
because
to do.
next week we've got to sort out the pre-trainers and the spellers and then the breakers. But what we've elected to do is to hold off pending the announcement of these new trainers moving into Ballarat, because obviously a lot of these horses are trained at Ballarat because either owners lived in the area or they didn't want them trained in the city for whatever reason. But yeah, we'll see how the events unfold next week.
Some have been in the system 2 or 3 years and just have acted well for us in this environment.
Well, they love this Ballarat training centre. It is one
And
of
the
the
hill
best
track
centres.
is one of the main reasons.
And you know, depending on who comes in, what the arrangements are, whether they've got enough horses or they haven't, whether they're affordable or they're not, we're going to wait and see who they are, and then we're going to act accordingly with the owners. But all our owners decide where our horses go. We don't. They all vote. If we own 10%, then we have a 10% say. And that's the way we run ATB.
From 3 days ago, it's another option that's going to be here that we didn't think might.
We didn't know about last week, so those horses will move, because if they weren't moved and transferred within the 24 hours, they wouldn't have been running this weekend or this week. So we had to do that, and that's why we only focused on that.
Probably was just a common sense approach in our eyes, really, wasn't it? And it's worked.
And what I'd like to finish off with is a little video that Pete did down at Bowen Heads last week on one of our breakers.
That was a terrific morning.
With Brad
Pearson,
who's breaking and pre-training some of our yearlings, and this is the process our horses are going through this year. So sit back, get a cold drink, take your mind off the world, and have a look at how Brad Pearson goes about breaking in ATB horses. Cheers for now. I'm Darren Dance with Peter Morganti.
Right, now we've got Brad Pearson here, and we've got in the box, if I just hand that around, that's your filly Neville, Ruani, but she's unsocial at the moment. Brad, thanks for giving us the time to come out here and film the horses go through their breaking process, but also welcome aboard. It's this is the first experience ATB and Brad Pearson.
Cheers, mate. No, it's great having some of yours down here anyway. Good to be
We've
involved.
got 6 fillies here at the moment and another 5 coming in a week or so. So, yeah, we're looking forward to the end results. Look, mate, just a quick snapshot. They've been here a month. I'll have all the vision out for everyone to have a look at what they're doing this morning. But from day 1 to this morning, as Ruani has a little look, they come here never been ridden. So just sort of run us quickly through what you've done in the first month.
Yeah, so look, the first week, 10 days, we sort of cover on desensitisation, getting the gear on them, the mouthing gear, going through the mouthing process, flexing, driving, etc. They'll be let off the pony a few times in that first 10 days as well. Get bagged down off the ponies and that, and get used to a bit of atmosphere. They'll have a walk through the barriers on the ground and that at that stage as well, just start to get them familiar with it. From there we go to getting them saddled up, getting the saddle on for the first time, laying up on them and having them comfortable and ready to ride. And then from there we just keep stepping up through the riding process. You know, the majority of them, they have their first ride with just the rope headstall and lead on, get them comfortable, relaxed and moving forward. And then from there we put the bit in their mouth the next day. And third or fourth ride they'll get out of the round yard and start exploring, go out around the centre of the track, have a look at the logs, have a little walk and trot over them. And from there they sort of spend a few days going around the track on their own, getting comfortable going forward without company. And then after that we pair them up with a lead pony until they're confident working in company. And then from there they start pairing up with other horses and going further forward. they're all at the stage where they're doing a bit of barrier work, walking through the gates and things like that.
Yep.
So from here, you know, we just keep travelling forward with them. They'll start doing some beach work and some work on course at Geelong, getting them further seasoned. They'll have a trot out of the barriers next week, and then the following week they'll probably have a little pop out of the barriers to teach them what it's about as well.
Yep, beautiful.
They'll all do a little bit of schooling and some more circle work, tighten them up and get them into more of a frame, and be ready to be racehorses.
So basically, once you get them rolling, you know, comfortable with the saddle and obviously the steering, it's just a lot of repetition work.
From there, it's a lot of repetition, definitely. Just getting them into new environments. We sort of work in different spots each day as well.
Yeah.
And just different configurations in your work as well, different riders, pairing up with different horses, etc. So
beautiful. Yeah. So all up, they'll be here 7 weeks roughly. Is that right?
Around 7 weeks. They're actually all tracking really well. So it'd be surprise me if they run out any longer than the 7 weeks.
Yep.
But no, really happy with how they're progressing anyway.
Eventually the beach becomes a big part of your process, Brad?
Look, we're actually blessed. We're just around the corner from 13th Beach there, so it's a great opportunity to get them out of their comfort zone. They get pretty familiar with the surroundings here. As much as we change the work up here, they do get the familiar after a month or so, and they're sort of looking to take the next step and move on to something else. So we find that...
Wasn't happy with that.
we do find it a great opportunity just to get them down there, throw them in a different environment. We'll take 3 or 4 down at the same time with a lead pony.
Yep.
They do a bit of work on the sand and then go for a bit of a wade and a walk through the dunes afterwards. And it's amazing how much it does bring them on. You'll get 1 or 2 and they just don't relax that well the first time, so we'll take them back again a second time, and that really helps them progress. But it is amazing how much taking them out of the comfort zone does bring them on.
Beautiful. We all love going to the beach, mate, so you can understand why they'd enjoy it once they get used to it.
100%. No, once they get comfortable down there, they love it.
And look, there's every chance too that they can end up with trainers that train on the beach or use the beach, so there's a familiarity straight away.
Definitely. No, I think you know, especially at this stage, they're really learning well. You know, you get the yearlings down there, and they're really happy to do it. You know, you take a 3 or 4 year old down there and you try and get them in the water for the first time, and they just don't cope that well.
Yep.
But the yearlings, when they're paired up in company and someone else is happy to go in there, they're happy to go along with them as well, and it's not a big drama for them, you know. So
just like our own kids, mate.
Exactly right.
One's in the water, they're all
safety in numbers. And
yeah. All right, Brad. Appreciate the time, and yeah, thanks for the report.
Cheers, mate. Thanks.
you.